Share the program for us as soon as you join us. Akokro better. Ono na we adwi. So yeah. Ebubo the confrontation. Yes. Be ready. Bringing your legal matters from justice and law solicitors. We don't come to bow, we come to conquer. Get yourself ready because we are bringing you the legal matters. All the immigration law updates. This week, we all know what has happened. One of our brothers, CPS Crown Prosecution Services, they have brought up some charges of rape and sexual assault against a famous footballer. I always advise people, don't think with below, think with your head. If not, you're gonna find yourself in a mess. When we talk about 33 rape, what is it? This will take you to your death if you refuse to stick with morality and legality. You will die in hell. If your spirit don't die, your heart will die. When you are accused of 33 rape, be careful out there. Use your head to think. Someone with class act, use the head to think. Someone with a class act, do the undoable. Someone with respect, do the decent thing. We are going to be looking at the update, immigration and nationality law, also concerns over new police powers to ensure more foreign nationals are removed from the United Kingdom. Statement of changes to immigration rules taking effect from 16th of July, 22nd of July, 27th and the 29th of July. Share the program to your loved ones. That justice and law, when we come, we don't come to bow, we come to conquer. So yeah. Oh, Maria. So yeah. If you join us, share the program for us. All those people hiding in the corner with dirty secrets, it will come out. So if you have done some nasty stuff, get yourself ready. Yes, get yourself ready. You see, this investigation, according to the CPS, has been going on since 2021-22. 2025, they come with charges, non-barring nature of criminal offenses in the United Kingdom. Brethren and sisters, be very, very careful out there. You might think you got something cheap, but the price to pay is expensive. Watch out, dreadlocks. Chieftains are expensive. Now reputation in tatters, whether guilty or not guilty. I sit down and check and I say myself, why put yourself in this situation? There's no conviction yet, but the shame and the disgrace, how do you erase this? The demise of the dead is a warning to the living. If you are walking around and you think with your below, be very, very careful, because the shame and the disgrace that will come upon you, it can never be robbed away. Be very careful out there. Everything that we do in secrets, it always comes out in the light. The evil that men do lives after them, and you cannot get away with it forever, because it's just a matter of time before it catches up with you. When you are confronted and bombarded with the truth, you will see how stupid you look, how unclever you may look. Look at this situation. A famous footballer. This is not the first time. This will not be the last time. Mendy, finally, he was exonerated. But the damage that was done to his name, it can never be robbed off. So you have to be careful. Think with your head and nothing else. Because there are certain crimes, once you are attached to it, you can never recover from it. Once certain allegation is made against you, you can never recover from it. How and when are we going to learn? That when we see something that we shouldn't go near, something that we shouldn't touch, the fruit of the forbidden tree, that we don't know that it's a curse, we and them know how we go work it out. If you just join us, share the program for us. Let's use this 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Just pass the time with this tune, and then when we come back, we will continue the program. You know, someone said the song, Kwasiato song. Someone said, hey, this song is, is this, is that, is that. I said, listen to the lyrics. Listen to the lyrics is very, very important. Because if you listen to the lyrics, then you know that this is very, 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 very effective song that people must learn from. So before we continue the program, let's just play this song. People ought to be careful. I don't know what else that you may want to listen to. Yes, so there are 2 hour journey program, and our shape program. Now, my was he a jago be chem or cobwa now, the ababe to muda or caso and Kufosi Bue. Oh, emergency. Uncle, baby, I need it. Abwa music, baby, what's the one to fear? Now, what do you mean? Mammy Kakra, and let you moon get cry. Hey, yeah, Ose Kwasiato obi esi na tofo unim kwankro fa so sie na akon kwa akodo ubi se yankoto ayeda enti huni sense na jumane yana insedede enti huni sawa wuti ngana niye obaba se baba tete shara baile nganza mamu wa shati enti wenti yana enti badi na nusheni be enti wudi baby I will be slap me every man.
Now we decide, yeah, many of the amount. A failure, my time for amount. What you know, we see how we will do. We decide, as soon as we know about the job, Galam say, or who I say, yeah, baby, to go. You're slow, and so, yeah, I need to show yourself. If you said you can't remember, you would do. I am a crack for that, depending on one, and so Pamwa, with the idea, your dada, the idea, dear say, I did Slenoa. Quack, yes, I won't pay you my Anna, and oh. Me wow be munafo ye ka kwemni ye tudo mo onkwan ye wo sami ya me niko basiato ayo say ya mira basiato ayo say ya kutwa yenga basiato ayo say ya mira basiato ayo say ya kutwa yenga.
This year, the true story of a broadband customer who wrestled with destiny.
Yedi ende juwedie no ebremo. Na eme se ensem ne de matiti bebree from the internet. Na the mechanism internet no a force for good. Nemom, you also have to be very, very careful because enya baby na sebe yetie information free. Baby on ma information abeje no ebia na akwakọ information a emwa wo kra. Enti na se wo information a eye papa a ide asundwe bebrew a ide ne kora ne bebrew a eno ane justice and law solicitors don't look anywhere. Eno enti na ye de asi ani so say every Saturday bia memne de bia ba betena hanamo na de emra ne ko ene baby a e fa ye de abrem me lawyer Darko me just I believe in justice, no doubt about that. Baby a ne kora da no me de beto no me menye pretender. Se meka na se enye wo de kora na meka se ye ne kora ne nko ade a because no kware wo hoi sebe eye ba kope na wo ka ne kora na we de me fi se esi wo yi ana se wo ka ne kora so a hwe enchange this week obi kan se bi ma me hu dwiri me mama bi e bai na e me so bai no so be hu me 2011 no be hu me 2011 me ka kire ne se de ya obeti ne kromu a Oma ne visa ewu a wantini anye hwe no aida se nyame ye nadom na se ohye European ni na so timi ne ware a ene obetini agina so ede age ne nkrata ana se owo ba wo kroma na ne ba no nyame ye nadom kite kroma nkrata obetini agina so ede age ne nkrata ana se we share British ni ana so bi okita indefinite mpo a eno so jese eno no wakoni krom a ni krom so eye alataman mu chese minyanto boase ekirikire bibia mu kire ni yie na okoye no eto na dwendwene because quick fix na no ope no enya dia onyaye enti na chese anya de 100% but wasan dwene ho a wose dabi papa yi sankeska na nko pa sanko beka bia no do agini sika enso so no wa man ne kure no aye den ne kure tro da no ka kire mi enti therefore no ese miti papa yasem na onyanto boase ekọ back ekọ hihye ne niema kakran ekopim tama bibia eye de etomu pepepe etomu no soso ana obai na chese eja kakran na ewose obi kan ye eso ko mutala enti na ewose woko enti the end no otie masem okoi soso esema me kan ye no me chan obofuo de me kan pepepe eno aso ne be mu me chan prophet de me kan na ebra pepe so ne be mu de me kan so me chan evangelist eno aso so na ebe mu enti wakwa ba asomdwie mu na ensi wa na downfo so no so the same situation o se da bi yankode ko hu papa yi lawyer Darko de odi ni gengen eka di gen de obeka a ye ne kore no eno na obeka onko fre ye fe ne sen spoon ese a garden tool a spoon a fork obeka ni plain a kire ebia enya wode na eduro ebejewa eno ane atrema saa so na kwini wo we ne nom ene eden pa ende emperifoni na beka kire ye maame keto wusu donko beka kire plain ese kwini wo we ne nom eden pa amambi wo we ne nom eden enso umnya woni na so nom a ede ayaresa na eba tima me Kate baby I will be a church show na no pay enti no eba ni sana na chese oba ye kan credit chere no otie ye wakwaba ni nua bi so mo chere no odi nua ne so bai odo so bai ye me na me kan wakwaba junior okoy odi 1 month pe na ya ne nwa yi ese se ne misika mensem no sa pepepe so na de aya na ebem enti no ne kura na meka no eye ba ko pe so de ne kware ana eye adwuma na so unye faker tembia no story eye straight tembia no eye one it does not change but say unye fake na you dishonest unye honorable person tembia no you dubious enti tembia no you are watching your back you are being careful about what you say and you are being guarded of what you say. Because all the time, in order to be truthful, you have to think about the lies and the manipulation that you can use to manipulate people before you talk. And the time you are slow in nature. Because I dream pan out there on him, I dream pan in water. And the time we busa wasema, you start thinking, hey, I say, me ya no dana, me ya no da say me ya no, I feel not told me I can get it. You will say, so deep crowd, they say, or so say, you will finish it. And you know, if you are so honma. Fan the correct any akomapa na de we bia faye tembia no do be bia so eye nhyira so self when impo e pam adwen ho adwenbone na opefo Nyankopon na afa kwan bi so you free you will be surprised enti no sana eti enti no de metimi aka ne say if we are say fan the correct manini wanim do be bia no ebeye enkoso na aye nhyira ama bra ken baby a wo bia ye church ene anobai enti no de akwa ne say basically SMPSC Okromwa there has been a lot of update immigration amu pie kana gene and your TikTok dia immigration lawyers and easy so mugusu ani omo ma qualify no mo qualify you be a kana gene enra obi frame bisa me question bi na so ni baby I'm a pay kra obi say bisa the same question bra kwaku adu me church baby a wo bia na me ka che ne se onyanto boase na agro ebe fia yentrumika enkushia no sa pepepepepepe enti ka che se nyanto boase ya obi kan ye se unim ukrom ehene abenya enya de a ube yira ewo edwabo ase sa pepepepe enti ka che se nyanto boase agro ne ebe fia usu trumika enkushia no chill relax and there is some pane bremo and ma shoda na meka ne twi no pompese ye ti ase na ti ase yi na a side say be won't teach until they will struggle to understand everything that I'm saying. But we will do our best to explain. We will do our best to explain it for you. Until changes are ever and not a be the same. Enyan to was na you go through ye. Now before say we go through the so na nashes ye may be no so no ho ba asem a man in particular amukrumu me de bomo koko misremo aya monye very 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 careful. Enye baby a na eko sebe edua bi wo ho a kokọ ase a asem ana akwakofa ma ho enti yenye very careful yenye ba ko ye football am besme bonidi e we newspapers ni mu chese ahometi yie ema mensa ana omde charge abono ebi say sexual assault ebi say rape and incessantly be brave but one thing that we must also be clear is say ya accuse obi of an offense and on interest ya convicted lipano enti eno de eho no yenye very very clear say ya chi obi ana say yesi say obi ediboni bia ma yen jump conclusion because it's your social media chese tell nkofo si crucify lipano no ahobeti but the bit me aka ne say yen kan yakoma to yem na ba bia ne kore no ewo no through the process no the coroner enye de emra enti the mechanic say one as one mechanic say yenyanto boase because it's too early say what it is let's say a man miensa anoma accuse no of ABC rape ABC sexual assault na ahana mpese Ghana for yetini maybe ase yie ekromwa emra no se ka se rape obi a oye under 16 se woni ne ke kampo na so te ase a na so de won koka se nipa na a eye penetration a emremu no eye rape eye statutory rape because obi a oye under 16 no ontimu give consent yentie nie pa obi a oye under 16 no emrane se onti enema se enti ontimi enjintum ese enenena enti so be under 16 na okọ chat ne app obi under 16 na ne kodi enkomo bi a eye inappropriate ya yebeka se eye grooming yentie die pa yebeka se eye grooming sexual grooming enti ebeye sexual grooming ne so a edi nsem neba eye very important say better understanding no say eye under 16 na so ni didi odo ho nkomo ene enkomo a eye sexual nature you can be done for grooming say nipa ne under 16 say oye over 16 po na say ogitum ese eni ni nye bibia be very careful here oye over 16 na say ogitum ese eni ni enye bibia. Listen, be very careful. Even in the course of the action, say anybody can say no. From time Obeka say no, when jai pe, na say continue and from there on no, a rape. Because consent has been withdrawn. Say anybody can say no, and I say oh force you no. Now when you koda, and I say there is a penetration. And also so a chromo law no a rape. Now I know na yin be entiasie. Say obi ka say no, office independent play hard to get. Baby on my ebia sanon be interpreting no, but a chromo and the UK had there. Say who make him move, then the panic say no, anybody give you no action. And when I try so. Because one thing about this country, they say no crime goes unpunished. Say 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years in poor. Now anybody has no the allegation, but police will come for you. It's very careful, pa. Obi in this repair or say, where they lie them, where they acquire them. Busa mo say, are you prepared to go to prison? Say nipa na say China in 10 years time, 12 years time, 15 years time. No, because you raper. Do you think you're going to get away with it? Especially, say chromo nipani e chromo ania. Na se wo free chromo a. E ga make a cry say ni paper nka ho. Ana so kita 2.5 years. Unye chromo ani. Cash. Masa. Obedem na dem ye be say deporto. Enti monye very very careful. I was hania man ho. Because so one you careful. You see medi any money nenam. And you baby an echo. And you know life in one. That's why you're very very careful where you go and what you do. Because and you bit me a backfire. How much I say a hunchra one casano. Odo mo back or two no. There is no way out for you. Nancy another footballer. Mendy. On so you accuse you of rape. 5 years na hanging so. A bit fun this one kasa. In the end, even though the prosecution failed and he was acquitted, but Nejuma wa the reputation of our building in Ano, it went down the drain. The question is it worth it? 5 minutes of enjoyment, if you can call it that. 10 minutes of sexual gratification. 1 month of sexual gratification. 6 months of sexual rendezvous. 1 year of madness. Is it worth your life? Is it worth your life work? Are you going to live the rest of your life with regret because of some shenanigans? Because of 5 minutes gratification? That one is up to the individual. But the wise man will learn from mistakes of others. But the fool will learn from his own mistakes. That is how it is. So all that I say is this. Oh, I must be very careful. And you do be an effort. Ana enya amangu bia so na yetimi kwatena ase. Etibi edi emani ye. The fruit of the forbidden tree. If you eat it, it's poison and you die in sin. And after that, there will be judgment. And the judgment will be parliamentary procedure. And you die in shame. Is that what you are looking for? I don't think so. If that's what you are looking for, then that's what you're going to get. Because in this country, like I said, there is no something called time bar. Once you commit that offense, it's going to basically follow you for the rest of your life. All that it takes is for someone to come with allegation. And Crown Prosecution will investigate. And when they feel, they believe that there is enough evidence, they're going to come for you. So be careful out there. Be very, very careful out there. Because you simply never know why these things do happen. And I will suggest to you that you do the best that you can and stay away from issues like this. Because our brother, I don't know what he's feeling now, what he's thinking now, whether true or not. Look at the reputational damage. Oh yes, look at the reputational damage that is going to cause. I don't know how he's going to cope. But like I said, the system will take a course. And whatever the verdict is, one must accept it. And of course, you know, things like this, it's very difficult for a third party, an outsider, to say something. Because whatever happened was between two people. Like they say, you and I were not there. But if one of them is making such an allegation, it is right for the state to look into it. And if possible, prosecute if they believe that there is enough evidence. Rightly or wrongly. That is the system. That is the nature of the system. So be very careful out there. You got to be strong. So that's all that I can say. Number 2. There has been a concern over new police powers to ensure that more foreign nationals are removed from the country. Now we have the Crime and the Policing Bill, which is currently awaiting second reading in the House of Lords. Introduces a number of new measures which expand police powers. One part of the bill, which is clause 144, people say is very worrying. That is Immigration Detention Bureau for Immigration Detention, which is an organization, a charitable organization that look out for the welfare of people in detention. They say that they are very, very worried about clause 144, especially as it expands the police powers. It expands police powers in addition to the existing rules, so that people with limited leave to remain in the UK could now face deportation if they accept caution for minor offenses. If you are holding bars 250 and you think now you are champion because you've got papers, it's only 250, you know, 2.5 years. This new clause, this new bill, the Crime and Policing Bill, if it passes and it comes into effect, and in fact you are a holder of bars 250, be careful. If you receive a police caution is non-imprisonable sentence, where instead of prosecuting you through the criminal system, the police will simply say that we are giving you a caution. A caution is like a warning. It's like a reprimand, so that you don't have to go through the official process. If you are in this, the new bill, potentially, if you accept a caution, could actually lead you to being deported from the United Kingdom. So if you are holding 2.5 years visa, you ought to be very, very, very careful. Do not think for one moment that now that you've got something holding, you are a champion. Because believe it or not, if you commit a crime such as rape, unconsented sex, forced manipulation, and you have sexual intercourse with someone, and especially if the person is under the age of 16, you're gonna get it. So be very careful out there. Not everything that is on the plate is for you to eat. If it's not your plate, don't eat in it. Just mind your business and go about your business. Because by so doing, you keep your dignity, your respect, and peace. But if you want to go somewhere that you're not supposed to go, and the person say no, and you coerce the person, you force the person is under the age of 16, you're going to get what you deserve. We call it just desserts. So be very careful out there. Someone bring an offense of rape, someone make allegation of rape, by the time that you get yourself out of the situation, you are damaged. By the time that, if you're not lucky enough, this bill is passed, police give you a caution, the next minute you are facing deportation from the United Kingdom. This is one of the concerns that the Bureau of Immigration Detainees have raised. So be very careful out there. Not that all that glitters is gold. I got a story that I am told. So be very careful out there. Now, we also move on to Section 103 of the Police Crime Sentencing and Courts Act of 2022, which is diversionary caution, not yet enforced, and Section 22(3)(d) of the Criminal Justice Act of 2003, conditional cautions, which provide for people without valid leave in the UK to be given a conditional caution for minor offences instead of going to court. These cautions can include condition that the person must leave the UK and not return for a set period. If they do not leave, the person can then be prosecuted for the original offense. The new bill would expand this provision to include people who have limited leave to remain in the UK. For example, people on work, study, or family visas. This means more people could face deportation by accepting cautions for minor offenses, even if they have legal permission to live in the UK and could have been found not guilty if they have gone on to fight their case in court. So if brebre ama kamani ama ahwiye na esemu nyina obia eye, because at the end of the day no one ya ahwiye at the SMP ana eye dey ana embrel. And to be very, very careful out there. Second update of the camp was Afghan scheme closed immediately and major changes to skilled worker route. Statement of changes to the immigration rules, House of Commons 997. We're going to take our time and we're going to go through one by one so that people are aware of the changes that are coming. Closure of Afghan relocation and assistance policy from 3 p.m. today, which would have been the 2nd of July. As we know, the policy did not offer any explanation as to why the Afghanistan relocation scheme is being closed or phased out. As we all know, during most part of the year 2000, after September 11th, 2001, the United States declared a war on terror. United States termed Afghanistan as the original source of plotting and the killing of American citizens and the plane crash, Twin Towers, World Trade Center in the United States of America. Following the September 9/11 attack, America decided to declare war on what they perceived to be terrorist countries and terrorist organizations. And Al-Qaeda became the main focus of American foreign policy. It was claimed that Al-Qaeda had bases in Afghanistan, and for that reason, America decided to take the fight to them in Afghanistan. So, hold and behold, then there was this American invasion and NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which comprises of mainly European countries, Northern Europe. They decided to take the fight to Afghanistan and basically look for Osama bin Laden, the mastermind, the alleged mastermind of the September 11th attack, and their cronies. So they decided to go for them in Afghanistan. And whilst they were there, they needed interpreters, they need local people to be working for them. So the fight went on for nearly 20 years. And after that, America decided to pack up and go back to the United States. Arguably, whether the mission was accomplished or not is debatable. Everyone has got a different mind, everyone's got a different opinion. I'm not going to get myself into that. So this is just a bit of a background so that we get to where we are today. So, America went there, did what they did, and in the end, they packed up and left. So the very people that they took them off, which is the Taliban, still, the Taliban is in power after 20 years, over 20 years American invasion. So some people are arguing that the Americans and their allies, Europeans, did not achieve their objective. Because the objective of the aim was to get rid of the Taliban. Now Taliban is in power again. So what was the point in going to that war? So many people were killed, so many people died, so many people were displaced. So the local people who held the alliance became a target after Taliban resumed office. And therefore most of these people have to run for safety. So they claim. So because of that, the government in the UK, for example, was forced to make provisions for these Afghans who are running persecution because they will be deemed as collaborators with the enemy by the Afghans. And the enemies being Europeans and Americans. Say Europeans and European Americans. And as a result, this became an issue. So these people, most of them ran to the UK and other countries to seek asylum. So the UK government had to make a provisions where these people had to be relocated, some of them with assistance. So all these years, 4 or 5 years, they've decided that they are no longer going to allow these people to come here and stay here. So the provisions that was made to them has now come to an end. As of, in fact, 1st of July, 2025. Now, what do we have? HC 395. This is a new policy that is coming up in 16th of September, 22nd, 26th. Every policy or each part is coming at different stage. So I'm going to take my time and we'll do what and go through the stages and see which ones. But the controversial one of Appendix FM, marriage route, that everyone is panicking about. That if you've come in as a carer, a care worker, if you come in as a student, will you be able to marry a British citizen or someone of settlement to stay in this country? That is a big question that everyone is asking. And I say, take your time today. I'm going to go through the rules. I'm going to go through the statement of changes itself, as you can see, and we are all going to read it together. Because someone called me and said, well, he has said contradiction information on TikTok. On one hand, one lawyer is saying that it's not going to make any difference in the sense that it can be treated under Appendix FM. Another one is saying that no, it's going to make a difference because the memorandum of the statement of changes has made reference to paragraph 284 of the immigration rules, and therefore everyone is confused. Me, I tell them, say, cool it now. I'm going to come here today and I'm going to explain this to you in the best possible way that I can. And everything that I say, I'm not just going to say it. I have evidence here that I will point it to you for you to read it yourself so that you know exactly what I go on. Yeah? So now, let's just take one tune. I'm going to drink some water. And then when we come back, we continue the program. So bear with me. It's not easy. Pressing machines, talking and doing this and doing that. Massa, it is not easy. Because a lawyer, yeah, penning temo, che, hey, and to was here, I grow back here in Trinican Kushiano. Why? Until they to was here, mammy. Now, Obika, Obinya, why, Koviki data, Obinya, why you? Yes. Obi some kind of problem. Share. Obi ya waye wati. Obi person ye wati. The open obi pe. Ha ha ha.
Obi ya wayo, obi sisiro wudi po. Obi ya wayo, obi sisiro wudi po. Obi ya wayo, obi sisiro wudi. Obi ya wayo, obi sisiro wudi po. Fear all of them, Rampo, really fear what would you achieve? No rushing, what's happening to them? I told you they won't go achieve. Now we're aiming for what they will say. Mommy, man, no so anchor them. Until they know Jawa before. You're my father, so I am them. I will buy some of the girl. One woman who so anchor them. Brother, bunny, my head in the blood. More the prison, so I am them. My God, show me new Palia. And you know me, I you. Maybe them, there's a day with a new tutor. Now, when I'm here, so. Feel so be now, I say, this is the way to be. It's a word to them. They won't be no need and the inside. Oh, this is what you want. So, be all than I'm safe. It's a long power. Do not you. Mother, watch you so I am them. Sister with the Obina Wayo, Obina sister with the Obina Wayo, Obina sister with the Obina Wayo, Obina sister with the Abel. Kade tilapia say eagle jama ya we young with their sob and swimming. I will see your best to move on to the next. You will pass, forget until then you are happy yourself. Yeah, you mate are making money, building mansions. You mate are getting married. Oh, you true. You mate you about them could be we women. You are being married. Honestly, you pay the service because 30 services. So be so much. And they don't forget to to Sunday you book on your baby. I bet you Suzuka and quite will be better since. Because out they will hurt you and I are lucky. I think in the boss we speak out. I think in the boss we speak out. Obina Wayo, Obina sister with the Obina Wayo, Obina sister with the Obina Wayo, Obina sister with the Obina Wayo.
Right, okay, now let's look at the main changes that are coming up. Right, the most important part, I think, is paragraph 284. That has become a bit, it has come under a bit of controversy. Now let's look at the rules. This is a statement of changes, you see. Let's look at this. Statement of changes to the immigration rules. Okay. Goes on to say that it was presented to Parliament pursuant to Section 32 of the Immigration Act of 1971. Ordered by the House of Commons to be printed on 24th of June 2025, and in short it's called HC, which is House of Commons 836. And the most important part for me, I mean, it mentioned various parts in terms of skilled workers, private and family life, and also family life, marriage, spousal applications, and so on and so forth. But a lot of people are getting this confused, you see. So today I'm going to take my time and hopefully go through the changes that are coming so that we don't get ourselves too confused about what is going on. Mr. John Techi, good morning to you. I hope that you are doing well and thank you for joining us. Now let's look at the main changes. You see, this is where I think we all need to take our time and go through each point at a time so that we all have a better understanding. Okay? Now, let's look at this, where they've written part 8. Okay? I hope you can see it because of the nature. So it's not gonna, if you're looking at it, you find it a bit difficult. You read from left to right or right to left, something like that. So basically, let's look at this. Changes to part 8. And when we talk about part 8, what do they mean? It's part 8 of the immigration rules. So the gentleman who called me and said that someone was saying that, oh, it's not going to affect people who are here on a student visa, people who are here on a carer's visa. I want you to listen and listen good. It says changes to part 8, and it has made reference to paragraph 284 of the immigration rules. Okay, sometimes this is where confusion comes in when it comes to the law, and I want you to open your ears and listen very, very carefully. After that, make your own judgment whether what you heard is right or what I'm going to say is right. Now, the changes, as you can see, they say changes to part 8. And below that, they've written paragraph 284, right? So when you look at this and you read the changes that they have outlined, you might think it only applies to paragraph 284. That is the literal meaning. But it mentions changes to part 8. And therefore, the part 8 could be more than just paragraph 284 because this is subheading. Okay? So it's just like saying United Kingdom. And then you are saying that, well, something has happened at London and therefore it hasn't happened to United Kingdom. That is not an intelligent talk. Intelligent talk will say that London is part of the United Kingdom. So if it has happened in London, then it has happened to United Kingdom. That is the purpose, that's the deeper meaning. So in law, we call something called the literal rule, the purposive rule, and we call something modern, MOPA, modern purposive approach. You see, words that we use, it has so many connotations. So for example, I can say to you, oh, I don't mind. And you can tell from the way I'm saying I don't mind that I actually mind, but I'm just only trying to be polite. That's why I'm saying I don't mind. Straight away, you have to then interpret what I'm saying and then work out whether I mean what I'm saying or whether I'm just trying to be polite. And therefore, the duty is on you to do the right thing. Don't just say that because I said I don't mind, it means I don't mind, so you're going to do what you want to know. So that is why we have interpretation. The way we interpret actions, the way we interpret words. For me, I always believe that all the time, try and do the right thing, no matter what someone says or what someone does. You cannot say that, well, I'm driving a car. In UK, it's a right-hand drive. But I've just seen someone driving on the left-hand side, so I'm going to drive on the left-hand side. By so doing, you're going to get yourself in a mess because you know the right thing, do the right thing. Don't mind about what someone is doing. Just mind your business, be in your lane and stick to the rules. You're always going to have peace. It's like driving on the motorway. And you know that the national speeding limit on the motorway is 60, 70. And then you say someone is doing 140, so I'm also going to do 140. The camera will catch you. When they catch you, you get punished. So these are the things that we need to, if you like, put inside us. so that at all times we can do the right stuff, whether someone is watching or not. We have to do what is right. As long as we are doing the right thing, we are okay. But if you don't do the right thing, you're always going to find yourself in a mess, if you know what I mean. So all that I say is this. As I was saying, it mentioned changes to part 8. And then subheading is 8.1 for paragraph 281. Substitute the following. And listen carefully. But before I go into that, you go to paragraph 284 and let's say what the paragraph 284 says. You see, if you go to paragraph 284, it make cross-reference to Appendix FM. Let's read this. The following paragraphs of paragraph 8 continue to apply to all applications made on or after 9th of July 2012. The paragraphs apply in their current form unless an additional requirement by reference to Appendix FM is specified. The paragraphs apply in the current form unless an additional requirement by reference to to Appendix FM is specified. Now, we go to paragraph 284. Let's see what paragraph 284